Hey guys, Adam Cesare here again with another video for another week. This time things are going to be a little bit different. We're going to be talking about Stephen King's The Dark Tower series, but we're not actually starting with the first book. We're starting with no books at all. We're going to talk a little bit about this kind of video series, read along, let's read. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but it's something like that. And I'm going to do a whole little series. I'll put them all together in a playlist, link them all up. I'm going to try to do a book every month, and hopefully that they won't take the place of each week's video like this one's kind of doing. So Stephen King's The Dark Tower series, with the movie coming out, with all the casting news about the movie, it's kind of on everyone's mind. So if you're clicking over from search, or you didn't find this because I shared it out, a little bit about myself to start out. This is pertinent. I am a author, horror writer. Most of my books, novellas, short stories, fall into the horror genre. So clearly, like everyone and their brother and their sister and their mother and father, I love Stephen King because I'm in the genre. He created the landscape we have now. He is an undeniable author of influence inside the genre and outside the genre. But I've never read the Dark Tower series. So yeah, a horror writer who likes Stephen King, not the most original thing in the world, but I do want to talk about a little bit about my history with Stephen King. Of course, everyone kind of starts with like King adaptations, everyone of my age at least, because you can watch movies probably before you can sit down and read these huge epic tomes like The Stand. You're not cracking Gerald's Game when you're 9, probably. So when I was a kid in elementary school, our one assignment, it was not even a book report thing. We were supposed to make a clothes hanger mobile, but based on a biography that we picked out of the school's library. And my school's library had a little young reader's edition, kind of thin little 100-page hardback for kids about the life and work of Stephen King. So I picked that out, and he became the subject of my biography. We took my father's old King hardcovers that I would have liked to have right now. We took the dust jackets off of them. We cut, because this is kind of pre being able to print anything out with any kind of quality from the internet. We cut out the dust jackets, hung them up. I wrote my little book report and fun facts about Stephen King on this mobile, and I'm pretty sure I got an A, which has got me where I am today. So stay in school, kids. So that's I was a King fan, or knew about King in a kind of biographical sense, before I had ever really done any kind of in-depth reading. And just as soon as I was able to handle it, as soon as I was able to wrap my head around vocabulary, I had gone beyond kind of elementary school chapter books. King was kind of my first and biggest literary love. So that's not that different than any other skinny guys with black t-shirts on the internet you're going to find. But like I said, I feel almost guilty that I've never given The Dark Tower its proper shake or its proper respect, and that's what this video series is going to all be about. I've read the first book, The Gunslinger. I read it a number of years ago, and there's an introduction in here, a foreword, in this 2003 kind of revised edition, where King talks about how he used to go to readings and say, how many of you here have read one of my novels? Everyone has, because they're all there to see Stephen King, so they all raise their hands. How many of you have read one of the Dark Tower books? And all those hands come down, or most of those hands come down, and you can tell that it kind of irks King because he considers this his magnum opus. He marks the kind of beginning of it, the seed of the idea, as 1970. He knew since he was a child that he wanted to write a fantasy kind of series. He loved Tolkien. But it wasn't until King saw Sergio Leone's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly that he kind of realized the flavor that would make his fantasy epic different. So I guess we can kind of count that as the movie recommendation for this week. Because you're unfamiliar with my channel, what I usually do is I talk about a new release film or a new release book, and then I partner or pair a film or a book to go along with that. So these videos are going to be a little bit different because we are going to be talking about these books in order, and the first one The Gunslinger came out in 1983, although it is kind of a novel that was stitched together out of a collection of short stories that King originally published in the Magazine of Fantasy and Science Fiction. This is kind of like a 5-novelette episodic novel. Like I said, I've read it before, but I want to reread it before we officially talk about it. So you guys have about a month if you want to follow along, if you want to read along, if you haven't done this. I write for Cemetery Dance Online, and Cemetery Dance, the magazine, is a little bit kind of the house that King built. They publish a lot of King limited editions and things like that, and they publish a lot of ephemera and books about Stephen King, Bev Vincent, authors like this, Richard Chismar. So I have that extra weight of, boy, I've never read The Dark Tower. I really should, with that movie coming out, reading that introduction and kind of having it in the back of my mind. I've read the majority of King's non-Dark Tower, non-explicitly linked Dark Tower work, but I've just never done it. And it's kind of because I don't want to blame my father, but it was because I grew up with a father who was a Stephen King fan who hadn't read The Dark Tower either, because I guess he kind of assumed fantasy wasn't for him. And all the good my dad has done me, he got me into reading, he got me into this life I have. He did kind of never read The Dark Tower, but I'm fixing that now, and maybe even I'll call him up and get him to read it as well, so we can have some fun in this read along that's going to take at least 7 months, because I'm just doing the main books. I don't think I'm going to do any of the spin-offs, but who knows? Maybe I'm really going to love this. Maybe I'm going to be down deep into this world, and I'm going to want to talk about these books more and more and more. So that's what this video series is going to be about. I put a tweet out there to the world and was like, oh, if I did this, would people watch it? Would people care? And immediately I got people responding that yes, they would. I got other authors telling me how much they enjoy the Dark Tower series. I got Amber Fallon and Dwayne Straczynski and Jeremy Robert Johnson giving me the thumbs up on these books that they kind of read and they were formative for them. And it's not going to be formative for me, because I'm a grown-ass man. I'm kind of already formed, but I love King, and I really want to fill this big gap in my King knowledge. Just letting you guys know that I am doing this. We're doing this together, damn it. And I do have one more thing to pimp this week. I wouldn't be a author on the internet if I didn't try to get you to buy my book, The Con Season. I've been talking about it for a little while. It's now available on Kindle, in Kindle Unlimited. It's going to have a paperback. The paperback's getting laid out right now. I'm going to order the proofs soon. If you like Robert Altman's The Player, if you like showbiz satires, and if you like Friday the 13th or any number of summer camp slashers, then you will love The Con Season, a darkly comedic horror, thriller, survival horror novel. $3 gets you the ebook. I'll put a link down in the description. Go buy it, damn it. Or not. Even if you don't love me. It's fine. Okay, so that's that. That is all the groveling I have for you. Thank you for indulging my rambling. This weekend on Sunday, I'm going to a 5-film marathon of the films of Herschel Gordon Lewis. I'm going to have him sign that right there, that novelization of Color Me Blood Red that I got from my wonderful friend Mark Sieber. Going to see 5 movies projected on film. Herschel Gordon Lewis will be in attendance. Frank Henenlotter of Something Weird Video will be in attendance. I cannot wait. It's going to be such a cool thing. So I'm going to do like a little wrap-up video for that next week, and that'll be next week, and I'll see you guys then. Until then, if you like this video, please hit like. If you like the idea of this video, please hit like. If you want to talk to me about The Dark Tower, if you like The Dark Tower, if you've never read The Dark Tower, if you're going to read along with us, please do that. It'll be fun. Please let me know. Let me know anything else, any material, no spoilers, but any material I should know kind of getting into this whole mess, any supplementary books I should be reading as I read these, things I should be going through as I go through them. Just let me know. Have a good day, guys. Please buy The Con Season right now on Kindle. You're going to love it.